Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game, is the latest in a fairly successful run of asymmetrical multiplayer horror games based on licensed franchises. We've had Friday the 13th, Evil Dead, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And while each of those are quality in their own way, none have proven to be as much fun and as frustrating as Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game. A 1988 comedy horror film, Killer Klowns from Outer Space has garnered a cult following over the decades and now is regarded as a bit of a classic. The concept of evil aliens who resemble clowns arriving on Earth and invading a small town in order to capture, kill and harvest the human inhabitants is certainly ripe for media expansion. And finally, we have a fully fledged game. If you're not familiar with asymmetrical multiplayer, it comes from games and modes that put different players in different roles, often as part of a team. In the case of something like Friday the 13th, one player was Jason, stomping around the map looking for victims to kill, and the others were those potential victims looking for an escape route. It's a formula that, when done well, can be so much fun, and Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game, is done well, managing to capture the silly but sinister tone of the film and make each game feel chaotic and energetic. Killer Klowns from Outer Space, the game, pits 7 human players against 3 alien clowns and sets both teams a really simple task. If you're a clown, find the humans, wrap them up in cotton candy and start powering up clown machines in order to trigger the clownpocalypse and win the game. Whereas if you're a human, you just need to find a way out. Search the map for weapons. You can temporarily stun and kill the clowns. Healing items, keys, fuses and more to survive and escape. Each map has multiple routes out, but always requires several steps to access, and an interesting twist on the formula are limited. For example, should you and your team manage to repair the boat and get it gassed up, you'll find it doesn't have enough seats for everyone. And once that route out is used, it is done for the game. This can make the human playing experience a lot more frantic and terrifying.
I can probably use this against the clowns. Delicious.
Of the two sides, unsurprisingly, the human side is not as much fun, but it does bring plenty of satisfaction when you get one over on the clowns and live to fight another day. Especially as a spectator, you're able to help your fellow humans by playing mini-games that award prizes, which can then be gifted to them. It is an excellent idea that doesn't change the fate of many games, but certainly allows things to be more competitive. Everyone wants to play as the clowns though, and for good reason. It's just more fun. And the over-the-top aspects of the game are on full display when you get to step into the oversized shoes of one of these things. The sight and sound of controlling an alien in a clown outfit hunting humans across vibrant and colourful maps never gets old. At first, they do feel overpowered, but across multiple games, their strengths and weaknesses become more apparent. As a human, you can hide and sneak, but as a clown, everyone sees you and hears you coming. Not only that, the clowns have limited stamina and none of the parkour style moves the humans have. A hunt is not as straightforward as it first seems, especially as the humans have plenty of tools to fight back with as well. A lean and mean human team can get the jump on the clowns, but death is temporary and unlike the humans, players will be back hunting after around a minute, which makes sense. The goal for humans is to escape, not beat the clowns to death. It's all about teamwork, something more important in most asymmetrical multiplayer games, but crucial in this one. As previously stated, a well put together human team can keep the clowns at bay, whereas a well put together clown team can bring about the clown apocalypse in quick fashion. The more cohesive a unit is, the more likely it is to win. Which does mean if you're human, lucky enough to have some bots in your team, you're in trouble. Unsurprisingly, Killer Klowns from Outer Space the game is at its best when the game is packed with competent players on both sides. Happily, the servers are fairly packed out and the games are constant. This will inevitably drop off, but hopefully fresh content will keep players coming back for many months and years. Which isn't to say that Killer Klowns from Outer Space the game hasn't delivered plenty of content already. It has 5 huge maps, as of the time of this review, and plenty of unlockable bonuses that range from new character classes and abilities to cosmetics. The first 10 to 15 hours will be spent perfecting your skills as both sides, learning the maps and unlocking all the content. But what comes after? It is here that Killer Klowns from Outer Space the game's problems becomes more evident, and the biggest one is the lack of variety. There's one mode with 5 maps and the same escape routes in each. You see the problem? Seeing the same things and doing the same things in these games become a problem after many hours in, especially when you're experiencing less than full games. This then highlights another flaw in the formula that can be quite frustrating and off-putting, and it relates to the clowns. You see, humans have multiple ways to navigate maps and escape. They can even find compasses that point in the direction of the exits. The clowns don't have quite the same tools to find them, and it's very easy to just spend ages running around a map looking for a human player. Those first few games where you have no clue what you're doing are some of the most off-putting experiences of all. Thankfully, it is all a learning curve, and while it might be a steep one here, it is still worth climbing, as at its core, Killer Klowns from Outer Space the game is still so much fun. Not only that, it is respectful and captures exactly why the film has become such a cult classic. If you love Friday the 13th, Evil Dead, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're gonna love this. It's not the best of the bunch, but it's certainly the zaniest.
I've been looking for this. Oh!